So this episode starts exactly where the last one ended. The cousin, he says it straight up. Father, that guy Lou, the one who gave you alcohol, could he be the mastermind? The father says, yeah, man, he can be a suspect. Why am I so foolish? Why didn't I suspect him? If only I had been more alert. If I hadn't drunk that much, I wouldn't have gotten into this mess in the first place. Honestly, because of my carelessness, I nearly lost my life. Worse, my whole family could have died because of me. And then he starts thinking about his big brother, who's actually our protagonist's real father. Remember I told you guys in the first episode that MC's father died in a war a long time ago? We're shown a flashback of that war. Right before dying, the father says, listen, my son, I'm entrusting his life to you. Take care of him. Then we get a brief glimpse of the past, how this country was formed 600 years ago. It's been stable ever since. But 20 years ago, they allied with other nations and started trying to take control of them. That led to a bunch of wars. So many people were killed, hundreds of thousands. Among them was one of the deadliest wars ever fought. They even call it the world's #1 battle. And it was during that war that his father was killed. The uncle says, I was supposed to die, but my brother stepped in, saved me, and lost his life. And now, because of me, even his son nearly died. Thank God that boy saved me instead. That's why I didn't send my son to a martial arts academy. I sent my nephew to a martial arts academy. Then the aunt chimes in. Yes, I always believed my nephew would do something great. That's why I was so proud of my nephew. But in her heart, she thought, though I still don't really like my nephew that much. Our protagonist replies, why do I feel like you're taunting me? And she goes, because I am taunting you. The uncle steps in. Can you two ever stop bickering? Come on now, behave like a family, please. Just then, the little daughter who was crying, she's just a child. How long can she cry for? A couple of hours, tops. Poor thing was hungry, so the mother starts feeding her. Then, out of nowhere, the little one says, Mommy, why were we living in those dark black rooms? And why did they give us so little food there? She was talking about jail. But how would a little child even know what jail is? The parents are stunned. Oh God, she doesn't even realize we were in prison. The father says, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. And then the girl adds, your fault? They didn't even give us food. I was so hungry one morning when I woke up. I saw a bug. Everyone freezes thinking, oh no, this little child, did she eat a bug? The mother asks, sweetheart, did you eat it? The girl replies, I was really hungry. There was nothing to eat. I saw the bug and thought maybe I should eat it, but you were asleep and drooling. I thought you must be hungrier than me. So being a good girl, I put the bug in your mouth and you ate it. The moment the mother hears this, she goes into total shock. She starts vomiting and faints right there, realizing her daughter fed her a bug. Everyone else who was just sitting down to eat lost their appetite completely. After hearing that, who could still eat? Now the story shifts to the Skynet sect, where that girl is from. The people of the sect are all alchemists, but not just any kind. These guys don't only make healing potions or random chemicals, they also work on many things. Right now, they're trying to manufacture fake silver coins. Basically, they're making sodium, but it's chaos. Nothing's going right. They're yelling at each other. What are you messing up, man? What do you mean me? You're the one messing up. You trying to teach your own father now? What? Since when are you my father? Go ask your mother. Don't you bring my mother into this. Yeah, total madness. Then the girl walks in and sees the mess. Seriously? These guys are useless. We get the full backstory. Ever since the fake silver coin incident, the king got interested. He told the sect crew, start producing more of those fake silver coins. So these guys have been working nonstop for 2 days, but still haven't figured it out. Then, when this girl shows up, everyone goes wild. Oh my God, she's here? She saw how it was made before, with her own eyes. She must know the secret. Please help us. We're totally stuck. But the girl's panicking too. How do I tell them? I did watch how it was made. I used the exact same method, the same materials, but I still couldn't make it work. And no one else in the sect has been able to make it either. If I admit I don't know how, they'll all laugh at me. So she says, listen carefully. This formula, it's incredible. It was created by someone brilliant. Seriously, whoever made this must have been a genius. And now I'm going to share the amazing method. Everyone's like, yes, yes, tell us. What's the method? So then she begins explaining all the names of chemicals like sodium and potassium that our main character had mentioned. She starts repeating them exactly the same way. But truth be told, she didn't understand any of it, and neither did the others. Everyone's like, oh my God, what was that? We didn't get a thing. It must have been some next level knowledge, so advanced that our tiny brains just couldn't process it. They go on, who told you all this? Must have been someone really smart. She says, his name is Shao Quinn. He is a warrior. He did all this to protect his uncle. If you really want to know the truth behind this formula, go meet him. Everyone's taken aback. A warrior? We're alchemists, and you expect us to take help from a fighter? Do you think we're that desperate? Then the narrator explains that this is how the world works. People who do bigger jobs always look down on those doing smaller ones. It's like a chain. One disrespects the next, who disrespects someone else. And at the very top, there's another category, Confucianism. People so elite, they look down on everyone. But a few years ago, that entire clan just vanished. Not a single one remains. Now we cut back to the girl, where the others are pleading with her. Wait, don't go yet. Please, tell us more about this fake silver formula. She quickly replies, oh no, I just remembered. I have some work to do. I really have to go. In her mind, she's thinking, if I stay any longer, they'll realize I'm clueless too. I don't know how to make the formula either. Now we shift to the leader of the sect, who is the master of the girl. He's just sitting on top of a building, looking like an old, worn-out sage. He says, you know what? I don't even enjoy going out and exploring the world anymore. The world just seems boring to me now. That's why I stay here. She walks in quietly and thinks to herself, everything seems boring to him. Just then, the master speaks. Ah, my disciple, you're here. She jumps. Whoa, I came in silently and sat down. I didn't even say a word. How did you know I was here? He smirks. You think I wouldn't notice you sneaking in? Do you really think I'm that dumb? Then he asks, so, the case? Is it solved? Did you receive a reward? She nods. Yes. I got quite a few silver coins as a reward. Then he asks, tell me, this fake silver coin formula, do you know how it's made? She's surprised. Wait, even you don't know? I thought there's nothing in this world that you don't know. He replies calmly, there are many things in this world that I don't know. For example, the theft that happened 19 years ago. I still don't know who did it. She's shocked. Wait, there was a robbery 19 years ago? Something valuable was stolen? I didn't know either. What was stolen? He replies, it was something big, something incredible, but it's already been taken. She tries to shift the topic. Forget all that. Just tell me this. Who created that whole plan of using fake silver coins to dodge taxes? Do you know who it was? Because only an alchemist could make such fake coins. And in this entire nation, our sect is the most elite group of alchemists. So at the end of the day, it all points back to us, doesn't it? The master simply replies, yes, I know who did it. Now we move to the next day, inside the palace of the king. All the officers, the guards, everyone's gathered there. And our main character, he was a police officer in this life too. He shows up as well. When people see him, they're completely stunned. A ghost? This is a ghost. He was punished. He should be dead by now. How is he here? He has to be a ghost. MC is a ghost. Someone adds, wait, ghosts don't have shadows, right? This guy has a shadow. Also, aren't ghosts supposed to have backward feet? No, you've got it wrong. I am the ghost, and this is my walking corpse. People are literally fainting in fear. Then MC steps forward. Don't be scared. I'm alive. My punishment was revoked, and I've been set free. The people can't believe it. How is that even possible? So MC explains everything, how it all happened, step by step. And just like that, this chapter comes to an end. Episode begins where the last one ended. Our main character returns to his work, but when people see him, they start thinking he's a ghost. So he explains everything, what happened and how he survived. Everyone's surprised but relieved. Man, it's great you're alive and back, they say. Then someone adds, well, now you have to throw a party, bro. You must have gotten some money, right? At least treat us to some drinks. He laughs and agrees. Yes, I'll get you drinks. There's this soldier named Wang who jumps in and says, hey man, a new brothel just opened up. Brand new, Russian girls, all virgins. Will you pay for us to visit the Russians too? Someone jokes. Our main character thinks these guys are too shameless. They actually start asking me for money to visit the brothel. MC steps back and says, look, I've got just enough money to get you drinks, but brothel girls? No way. I can't afford that. Please try to understand. Right then, MC's foot lands on something shiny. Turns out to be a silver coin or something similar, gleaming on the ground. Just then, another soldier walks up and says, hey, listen, we got a message from the magistrate, you know, one of those high-level officials. He said to focus on your duties. As soon as Wang hears this, he gets all sad. Everyone notices on the news. Meanwhile, our MC discreetly picks up that crystal-like object and slips it into his pocket. Then he asks the guy, hey, what happened? As you said, the news makes everyone's mood turn gloomy. The guy says, you were in jail, so you wouldn't know. Just a few days ago, a businessman died on the road. Now there's an investigation going on about it. The magistrate is pressuring us to solve the case quickly. The guy says, we even saw the magistrate yelling at Wang, why haven't you solved the case yet? And so on. MC is confused. Why is the magistrate so worked up about a businessman's death? Why all the yelling? The guy explains, Wang's been assigned to solve this case, but he hasn't made any progress. And you know what? That businessman, he was actually a distant relative of the magistrate. That's why the pressure is so intense. The guy says, this year especially, if you're given a task and fail to complete it, you get demoted. Sometimes people even lose their jobs. Wang could be demoted, or worse, fired. Wang gets emotional and says, man, there was a murder and the killer ran away. How would I know who did it? I didn't commit the murder. I am trying to find the truth, but I can't find a clue. What else can I do? And to top it off, he groans, I lost my silver coin. MC laughs, oh, that was yours. I picked it up. Lucky me. Then a guy gave Wang a suggestion. Here's an idea. Catch a fish. It means if you can't find the real criminal, just grab someone innocent looking, frame them and say, here, we found the culprit, and even tell that person to confess so the case can be marked as solved. But of course, the real criminal gets away. Wang says, yeah, go to the slums, find some old guy who's done small-time crimes, bring him in, and we'll pin the blame on him. MC firmly refuses. No, absolutely not. Doing that means the real criminal walks free. We have to catch the actual person who did it. Wong says, come on, man. Don't you know how it works? You don't get yelled at every day. I get shouted at every day. It's tough, bro. But we're not throwing some innocent guy into jail. We're just going to find a small-time thug and slap a false charge on him. He's a criminal anyway, but MC's not having it. Nonsense. No way. You can't do this. Wong says, then what do we do? MC replies, bring me the case file. Let me try to solve it myself. So they hand him the file. Then we hear the full backstory. The businessman who died, his name was Zhang. He owned 3 major shops and acres of land. Basically, the man was very rich. His first wife was about 20 years younger than him. They had a son together, but she passed away. Later, he married again. His second wife was 31 years old, while Zhang was 51, a 20-year age gap again. MC thinks, damn man, when you've got money, even if you're pushing 50 or 60, you'll still find girls who are 20 to 25 years old willing to be with you. He jokes, imagine this, when he was 20, she hadn't even been born yet. Anyway, let's not get into all that. So what exactly happened? 4 days ago, in the middle of the night, around 3 a.m., Zhang got up to do some work and left the house. Moments later, his wife, still in bed, heard him scream. Turns out Zhang had been killed, and from a distance she saw a man running away. MC asks, did anyone check with the neighbors? Maybe they saw something? They reply, we tried, but everyone said the same thing. We didn't see anyone. We don't know where he went. That's all everyone says. So here's the thing. This city has 3 gates, a medium gate, a center gate, and an outer gate. All 3 gates are always guarded by guards, but still, people can easily come if they have official permission to move in and out. You just need to have a valid certificate, so it's quite possible that the murderer also had such a certificate. Anyway, back to the story. Our MC has been reading the file closely now. Then Wong asks, so Mr. Investigator, is the case solved? Did you catch the killer? Where is he? MC replies, Wong, why are you so angry? I just got my hands on this case. Give me some time. Actually, I want to ask you a question. First of all, are we sure someone actually came in? What if the wife was lying? And by the way, your footprints were found at the crime scene too. How do you explain that? Wong responds, well, there was some dirt on my shoes. That's why my footprints were there. Our MC asks, and how exactly did that dirt get on your shoes? Wong explains, there's a garden nearby. The soil was a little wet. That's how the dirt stuck to my feet. MC says, okay, so your shoes got dirty and left prints. But what about the real killer? His feet didn't leave any marks? Everyone suddenly realizes, damn, we didn't even think about that. Then our MC points something out. He has his own theory. The wall of the house wasn't very high. Anyone could have easily jumped over it, so the killer might have done just that. But here's the twist. There were footprints on the wall, like they were intentionally left there for someone to find. So yeah, something fishy was definitely going on. Then they get into how the murder actually happened. The man Zhang was killed by a strange weapon, something rusted, maybe even junky. Think about it. Who uses a rusty weapon to kill? If the killer really wanted to murder him, wouldn't he have just used a proper sword or some sharp weapon to slit his throat or something? So another says it seems like murder wasn't the original plan. Maybe the plan was just to rob him, but something went wrong and he ended up dead. MC interrupts. No, that can't be the real reason. There's something else going on here. The others react. Something else? Wait a second. You don't mean? MC goes, yes, exactly. The killer didn't have any sharp weapon on him. That's why he used whatever rusty thing he found lying around. Then MC shares another clue. Right after the murder, the wife ran in to check on her husband. She screamed, called the police, and summoned everyone. And while she was waiting, she fainted. Later, when they investigated why she fainted, they found out she was pregnant. Everyone said, oh man, poor woman. Her husband just died, and she's carrying his child. That baby won't even get to see his father. But MC says, listen carefully. There was a 20-year age gap between them. She was 31 and he was around 51, but they've been married for 10 years. And in those 10 years, they never had a child. But suddenly now there's a baby. As soon as Wong hears this, it hits him too. Whoa, yeah. I mean, in any marriage, if a couple doesn't have a kid for a few years, fine, that happens. But 10 years and suddenly she gets pregnant now? That does seem off. Wait, what are you trying to say? MC says, exactly what you're thinking. The man who died, her husband, this baby isn't his. It's someone else's. Everyone listening is stunned. MC, what are you saying, man? Be clear. MC says, all right, I'll explain. Slowly, everything's starting to make sense now. This man, he was quite old, but he was also very rich. So this woman married him for his money. But when it came to, well, physical things, he probably couldn't satisfy her. That's likely why they didn't have kids for so long. Eventually, she must have met a younger, stronger man and she started an affair. They must have been together for a long time secretly. And then one day, the businessman, her husband, must have caught them. He must have seen her cheating with that other man. He got furious, and that same night when the murder happened, he must have come home and caught them in the act. They were probably having fun. As soon as he saw them, he lost it. He started yelling at his wife and her lover. "What are you doing? You're my wife. How can you do this to me?" In the heat of the moment, they panicked. He must have grabbed a weapon nearby, not a sword or anything sharp, just the first thing he could find, and he attacked. I don't think they meant to kill him at first, but it happened. And after he died, they freaked out. Then they came up with a plan to cover it up. They purposely took a shoe, smeared some mud on it, left footprints on the wall, and created this whole scene like someone came in from outside and murdered him. And that's the case. That's how this chapter ends. This episode begins where the last episode ended. Our MC starts thinking, who exactly could have committed the murder? What might have happened? He shares his own theory. He says clearly that no outsider came in to commit the murder. Something shady was going on inside the house. That's why, when the police checked the place, they didn't find any sign of an intruder. If someone came for the money, it doesn't make sense. They wouldn't have chosen that moment. It was the wrong time. Everyone already knew when the money would be collected later. So if someone wanted to intercept, they could have done it on the way, not by breaking into the house. Do you guys understand exactly what had happened? The listeners start to nod. Yeah, now it's making sense. Just from the case file, he had already guessed what might have gone down. Our MC says, look, this is just my guess. I can't say for sure if this is exactly what happened. Then Wong speaks up and asks, do you suspect the son too? He replies, yes, I do suspect the son. The wife had said, when I heard my husband screaming, I rushed to him and then did all I could. But when the son was asked, he said he was calmly reading a book that night. So why didn't he hear the screaming? Obviously something's off. Our MC concludes that something is going on between the son and the wife, an affair between a stepson and his stepmother. The father must have found out, and he would have been furious. Have you no shame? She's my wife, your stepmother, and you're having an affair with her? So together they killed the father. That's exactly what must have happened. The listeners go, oh, and that shoe print at the end? That was just to throw everyone off, to make it look like a thief came and killed him. Our MC says, yes, exactly. Everyone agrees. Man, you've pretty much solved 90% of the case. Now, all that's left is to bring those two in for questioning. The next day comes. The magistrate summons the wife and the stepson. They're both brought in, and then they're asked straight up, tell us, how does it feel after committing a murder? Was it satisfying? The son, shocked, replies, what? How would it feel? Why would I ever kill my own father? He was my real dad. We're shown a quick flashback from the previous day. Wong comes in and says, magistrate, we've solved the case. But the magistrate replies, you solved it? You couldn't solve the case. You're just joking. Wong insists, I did solve it. Let me explain everything that happened. And he lays it all out. What happened, how it happened, every little detail. Even the other guy starts thinking, yeah, that could be it. So they bring the two suspects in for questioning. Our MC listens and says, well, I've already presented my theory. Whether they confess or not is up to them. Now it's time to hear from them directly. They're asked, so when your father was murdered, where exactly were you? The son replies, I was studying at that time. Then he's asked, was there anyone who could confirm that? Any witnesses? He says, the murder happened at 3 a.m. Who's going to be at our house at that hour? Then he turns to the wife and says, Miss Zhang, you and Mr. Zhang got married 10 years ago, right? But now, suddenly, you're pregnant because, he continues, your husband couldn't have gotten you pregnant. The man was too old and weak for that. You were having an affair with your stepson. He's the one who got you pregnant. Hearing this, the woman cries out, what nonsense is this? My husband has just been murdered, and now you're throwing such filthy accusations at me. She says, I wasn't physically well back then. My body wasn't able to conceive. But after years of treatment, now I'm finally capable of becoming a mother. And you're blaming me like this? The son jumps in too. These accusations are disgusting. What are you even saying? Then the magistrate presses further. All right, then tell me this. There were shoe prints on the wall, but not a single footprint on the ground. Are you telling me the killer just flew straight onto the wall and flew away again without ever touching the floor? You thought you were smart. Just leave some prints on the wall. Make it look like someone climbed in. But how did they climb the wall without stepping on the ground? There were no prints there. The son snaps. Oh, right. Maybe it was Superman who came and murdered him. You can't solve the case, so you just make up garbage accusations against me and my mom? Shame on you. The magistrate becomes furious. We should be ashamed. Grab this guy and give him 100 lashes. The son fires back. Try it, old man. Touch me, and you'll regret it. The magistrate shouts, you little punk, go ahead and try something. Come on. Eventually, both of them are arrested and locked up. They're beaten and interrogated. Our MC shows up during the investigation. The officers ask, why are you here? He replies, I'm here for questioning. And when it comes to questioning, I go 2 steps further than anyone else. Just give me a chance. Later, he goes to see the wife, or should we say the stepmother. She's sitting there, clearly nervous. She thinks, oh God, what's going to happen to me now? Just then, Our MC enters and says cheerfully, "Hello, madam. How are you? Don't be afraid of me. I'm not here to harm you. Think of me like a younger brother. Just answer 2 small questions for me. That's it." He hands her a cup. "Here, have some tea, and then answer my questions." "So," he continues, "you've been married for 10 years and had no children, and now, all of a sudden, you're pregnant. Want to know something? Your husband, he was 51 years old, an old man at age. He didn't have the strength anymore to father a child. No, the problem wasn't with him. The problem was with me. I did everything I could. Treatments, tests, procedures, and finally, after all that, I got pregnant. But just when I became pregnant, my husband died." "Oh God." Our MC goes, "Oh, so he died, and now he's not coming back, obviously. But tell me, just answer one small question for me. Did your husband visit brothels?" She replies, "Yeah, well, every man's a bit crazy when it comes to stuff like that. He had a thing for going to brothels. At least once or twice a week, he'd go without fail." MC thinks to himself, the guy was 51 and still going to brothels. Well, I guess if you have money, anything's possible. You can have a beautiful young wife and still sneak out for fun. So, our MC says, of course, he was going to brothels. He wasn't even capable of fathering a child. And just because he had affairs with other women doesn't give you the right to start an affair of your own and then kill the man. That's not justified. Hearing this, the woman snaps, "What nonsense are you spewing? I didn't kill him. There's no truth to what you're saying." Our MC stays calm. "Please calm down. Don't get angry. Now about your son, your stepson. He's 6 years younger than you, right?" She answers, "Yes, 6 years younger. What are you trying to say?" He smirks, "Nothing. Do you know about eagles? You know, the bird that flies high in the sky? And of course, you know chickens, little birds that lay eggs? Well, let's just say the eagle had some fun with the chicken." She frowns. "What are you even trying to say? I don't get it." The MC leans in and says, "Let me spell it out for you. You ended up with an old man as a husband, someone who couldn't satisfy you. He barely even talked to you, let alone anything else. And on top of that, he spent his time at brothels. So naturally, you were left alone. But then you found what you needed, a young man, someone full of life in the prime of his youth, your stepson. And so you started having an affair with him." Hearing this, she screams, No, stop it. You're talking nonsense. This is all lies." Our MC observes her reaction. She's panicking now, a little more pressure and she might break. Then he says, "You want to know how I figured all this out so clearly? Because your son, your stepson, he told us everything." She's stunned, completely speechless. She says he told everything. Our MC says, "Yes, madam, there was definitely something going on between the two of you. And one day, while you were in the middle of your affair, your husband walked in. And obviously, any man would be horrified to see his wife and son like that. He probably shouted, maybe even hit you. You got angry, and in the heat of the moment, you attacked him. You killed him. Then you took a shoe, dirtied it up, and made footprints on the wall to make it look like someone broke in. But how would there be dirt on the shoe unless it stepped on the ground first? And yet there were no footprints on the floor. What, did the killer fly up to the wall? Of course not. Your husband showed up unexpectedly. You didn't even have time to prepare. No knife, no weapon. So you picked up whatever was nearby and struck him on the head. That's how you killed him. All the logic fits. Everything connects. And in the end, you are exposed. And with that, this chapter ends. Chapter ends, so does the video. See you in another one. Until then, bye-bye.